Yeah, let me transition with that. And I bring up that question because I do think that sometimes to show an effect size or a difference, these preclinical studies, I put a lot of value into that. But ultimately, what are we accountable for is patient outcomes. And I'll share with you some updated data on the Innovasis HA-Peak registry. And this was just updated a couple of days ago, actually. So as Christoph indicated, the HA-Peak device now is available for an ACDF, for a TLIF, for an ALIF, for a PLIF, and also for a direct lateral. The registry is really just beginning, and right now there are 28 clinical sites that are enrolling patients. We're collecting patient-reported outcome measures, including the ODI and the NDI for the lumbar and cervical spine, respectively. We're looking at the EQ5D, which is an important metric, the Euroqual 5-dimensional metric to look at overall quality of life, and also VAS scores for the back and leg and the neck and arm. Looking at the enrollment to the registry, again, up to 443 patients now, and the registry really just began enrolling less than 2 years ago now. And I think as more sites are enrolling, this rate of enrollment is going to rise geometrically rather than arithmetically. Looking at the distribution, so far the majority of the cases have been cervical, and Christoph will share some of his experience with the cervical. There's been a good number of ALIFs as well as PLIFs enrolled in the distribution, and this is just the anatomic sites. Most of these have been single segments, but a good number of multiple segments, including up to 4 different interbodies with either a ALIF, a ACDF, or a TLIF. So here are some of the selected results with regard to the cervical study. Looking at the neck disability index, good improvement overall, about a 40% improvement in neck disability index at 12-month follow-up. Looking at the VAS of the arm, right and left in this case, very good improvement, more than 50 to 60% improvement of the VAS scores for the neck and arm. Overall satisfaction with treatment. This is on a 5-point scale where people were asked, are you the degree of satisfaction? And everyone said that they were either satisfied or somewhat satisfied. So no one was either dissatisfied or somewhat dissatisfied. Would you have the same treatment again? 96% of people at 6 months out say would definitely or probably have the same cervical treatment. So high rates of patient satisfaction. Looking at the lumbar cases, slightly smaller numbers, but also very encouraging outcomes here. Looking at ODI scores, we're seeing a reduction at a year of more than 50% of ODI scores. So people improving by an average of 28 points on their ODI score. Looking at VAS for the back and leg, again, 50% improvement of back pain on a VAS and 70% improvement of leg pain on the VAS, indicating how reliably we can improve both of those metrics in the VAS score. And in the lumbar, again, in the degree of satisfaction, 96% of patients said that they were satisfied or somewhat satisfied, and very rare to have somebody who's either one person somewhat dissatisfied with treatment. And again, breaking this down, would you have the same treatment again? 90% of patients said probably or definitely they would have their same lumbar treatment done again. If we take a look at the adverse events right now in this registry, and one of the reasons for the registry is really to be able to document adverse events quite precisely. And there was one adverse event reported where the HA-Peak composite fractured during implantation. I can tell you that most of my experience has been with the ALIF device, and I have not had an HA-Peak device fracture. I've had a number of other devices fracture, including certainly allograft. I've had 3D printed titanium fracture. I've had Peak fracture, but I've not had an HA-Peak device fracture for an ALIF application. And another failure wasn't related to device, but rather there was a screw fracture, a screw failure in one other case. So again, out of 773 implanted levels, 443 patients, 2 patients who required a revision related to device-related adverse events, one of which was a screw rather than an implant adverse event. So overall, for those of you on the on the webinar here, I do think if you're interested in enrolling patients into a registry, this is a very robust registry. It's a nice way to audit your own practice, and I find it, I've found it really quite useful to be able to look at my own results, and Innovations has provided an interface that really makes this useful. You can look at your results and compare your results to other results in the registry. But overall, the conclusions are very good clinical results and very, very few device-related adverse events.